All right. Well, I just checked in again at Stony Brook State Park, campsite 103. Like I said, it's not raining. Isn't that wonderful? Got some tips on where to go fishing. Hoping maybe tomorrow night's dinner will have a little bit of panfish in it. So anyway, we're going to skip to drive in. You saw it last time in the rain, admittedly. It's, gone from 56 to 86. So it's a little warm today and tomorrow. But that's okay. I'm still here, still going to camp. So I'm driving into the park now. See, look familiar? That's where we are. And see you once we're down there by the creek. Yeah, you can see the rocks on the bottom now. It's calmed down a bit. 2 weeks ago, it was all rainy and everything. I'm telling you, I'll walk across that. I'm going to get my feet wet before I leave this place. All right. Well, I found the entrance. It was sort of a guess. Well, one of the things is the state forest is not as well mapped, I guess, as the parks are. And I'm going to make my own map. Yeah, I reached the end of the road. There do seem to be some trails off of here to walk down. I guess I'm going to go that way. The site that looked good on the satellite just turned out to be marsh. Well, there's a reason why it was clear and open. Anyway, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to get my gun and keep going. Let me show you that. All right. This is a Weatherby PA-08. My old buddy, my Mossberg 1941 20 gauge bolt action shotguns in the shop. So I figured I'd man up. I got this nice 12 gauge walnut stock. Hey, it's made in Yugoslavia. Get over it, all right? It's a Weatherby. And it's got, the little gold appointments that you come to expect. $222 for that beauty. Why go to Walmart? You can get that new single shot 12 gauge for $100. For a little bit more, you can get something that's beauty, looks like an heirloom. Anyway, I'm gonna put a couple shells in my pocket. I ain't even gonna load it because, like I say, I don't expect to see anything. I'm just scouting this morning. Walk through the woods with a shotgun. All right. Well, back at base camp. It's about 10 o'clock. I stopped on the way, get some industrial strength DEET, mosquito repellent. That was kind of buggy in there, honestly. I think I mentioned in the Finger Lakes Trail, I don't like mosquitoes. Wow. But stopped at Tractor Supply on the way home. Well, first of all, while I was coming out of the park, I stopped and got some downed wood, cut it up, and then went into Dansville, which is a city nearby, Tractor Supply. I needed some things for a project when I get home. I bought a couple of bundles of wood as well. So hopefully I'll be able to make my dinner on some coals. Let me show you this wood. All right. That's what I picked up in down wood and 3 bundles. The bundles at Tractor Supply are really good compared to the camping bundles you get at end of people's driveway. You're camping, they're going to sock it to you. Tractor Supplies, $4 for a bundle compared to 6 or 8 at the roadside stands. So that's fine. That's going to help. I did have something else in my pack, and that was that Strerno stove. And I don't have canned Strerno in it. I got the BioFuel, and people say it's not that hot and won't boil water. Well, I got to say BS to that, because I put my percolator on it and it made coffee. This is you know, as much as I gotta demand on any stove is I get my coffee in the morning. You know, I cooked asparagus and the hamburger for dinner. Oh yeah. Well, I stopped at my favorite butcher who's in Dansville as well. I got a nice steak and a couple sausage links. So it's about 10 o'clock. I'm gonna cut up some potatoes and vegetables. Oh, wait. There's one thing I gotta shout out to my sister. Because I was thinking as I was dropping that wood, I still gotta cut it up a little and split. She watched my first video and said, "Oh, you still got all your fingers." Well, I love you too, Joanne. I still got all my fingers. Hey, let me show you my sleeping system for this week. All right, we're inside my teepee now. I say it's just wonderful because you can stand up in it. And here's what I got. I got a Intech, is that what it's called? Inflatable mattress. That's kind of big. That's the full size. I'm a big guy. Even then, I think maybe I should have got the twin. All right. On top of that's my Woobie. The Woobie is Vietnam area poncho liner, lightweight, fairly warm. Got my climate pillow over there. You know, you saw me do that. My summer weight bag over top of me. I was still a little cool. I don't know that, you know, them calling that 50 degrees, 60 degrees. I put my wool blanket over top of that. So I'm a big guy. Do you need that much space? Well, you know, I roll over in my sleep. When I'm in a hammock, I stay still. So, no, I want it. It's not a question, do you need it, I guess. But it was a very comfortable night last night. I haven't bothered closing the door. I let the breeze come in. It was fairly warm yesterday, and enjoyed that cooling down the teepee. I think that's an issue, is getting some ventilation through it for the warmer weather. Well, I found this little treasure inside my frying pan. And, wow, talk about having choices. I got a little mini stove. Alright, looks like I gotta put this down to open it up. There it is. All right, well. So, #1 seller on Amazon changes pretty quickly. This is like $7 or $8, I recall. Alright. Yeah. Well, that BioFuel worked just great. But, I think I'm not going to have to wait for a boil anymore. Anyway, you see I am cooking a huge meal, so I'm going to have some leftovers. But that's a half a potato, some onion, half of a pepper, and 1 link of sausage. Okay, I'm cooking breakfast. Maybe it's brunch. All right, cooking with gas. A pretty low flame on there. It seems to be holding up my pot just fine. Now this pot, I want to point out, is an MSR fry pan. I don't know, it was a 15-20 bucks from Amazon. I got this because it's triple ply. It's the only one I could find. It's stainless steel, but it has an aluminum core on bottom. So even though the stove is a pretty pointy fire, it doesn't really spread out, I think that aluminum core is helping my food cook much more evenly than straight stainless steel was. So thumbs up for the MSR fry pan for taking camping. You like cooking? I mean, that's what you'd have at home. Doesn't really weigh any more. Aluminum's lighter than stainless steel. So I got everything in there. It's cooking slow. I'll eat it slow too. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you. Hey, am I in this picture? I lost another 5 pounds since the previous video, and I got a new belt. I know that last one, I apologize. Every time, you know, we turn around, I'm sitting there pulling my pants back up. So hopefully we got that problem fixed, and got a lot of adjustment in this belt because I want to keep losing weight. I want to keep going, right? All right. I will look for dinner. All right, it's almost time to eat. I'll put a little bit of water in there to steam those potatoes and get them soft. By the time that water boils off, everything will be done. I got the hot peppers already in there, some ketchup on top of potatoes, and I'm saying life's pretty good. So Noah said that I like to take one fuel system with you. It makes sense instead of a bunch of cans. Remember, I got my mini lantern here. Showed you that last time. And we pulled this little jewel out of the box here. You remember this morning I was cooking, I put it on the regular isobutane can. So if you want to put it, maybe that's isopropane, but whatever. Now, there's an issue if you want to put it on here, I think. Let me open this puppy up. That's just not going to be very stable, all right? So that's not the solution. But you know, I think that there's few problems people have that someone else hasn't had already and figured it out. So I got this little guy from Amazon. So this is a converter and a stand built in. All right, much more sturdy. I'll put a pot on that. Got a pot. That can goes in there. All right, now that we're looking, that ain't no problem. So, otherwise, it just works as you'd expect. Open it up. Voila. you know, may remember when I showed the other stove that I preferred, I said by the time you put everything you need together, you got this guy. All right, here's the packaging. Box. The box. Obviously, you don't have to carry these boxes with you. And I'm going to say, like I said, you got to take a windscreen too. So, yeah, that other stove maybe was a little bit bigger than all this. But, you know, it's not this tiny pocket stove, I think, to have a usable system, all right? So, if you wanted to use the isopropane tanks, you wouldn't need this. But it's more expensive, and yeah, I think it's, you know, the harder to get that in your pack than it is to get this or two of these. So, I would still, you know, so you're asking, Ed, why the heck do you even have these things? It's because I bought these first. You know, I didn't know. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. So, I'll take them with me. I got to use them up. I'm not going to throw them away. But that's why I have these things. Look at these at Dick's. I was at Dick's a couple days ago. And they're more expensive there. They may be like $2, $2.39, $5, $6. But you buy the bulk pack and it's dirt cheap. You just gotta find Sam's Club. I'll bet Costco. I'll bet BJ's. Any of those type stores are gonna have those by the 12 pack. So there's a compatible system. Maybe, you know, together with the light and an adapter and a couple of these guys. You know what? For a cooking and lighting solution, maybe that's not too bad, huh? There it all is. You don't need any more than that. You know, me, I'm going to take more because I haven't learned. I just wanted to remind you what I took on the Finger Lakes Trail hike. A little frying pan. This is, it caught 4x4. I'm calling it 5.5 by 5.5. Big enough for a hamburger or half a steak. Half a steak is how I eat it anyway. Remember, I have my little wood pellet stove in here, and this is the Stanley pot, which nests very nicely in the GSI knockoff cup. So, yeah, I got a stew pot, a frying pan, another pot for drinking water, making water, or dripping my coffee. You know, for a day where I'm just going out, that was pretty good. You know, we threw in a couple extra things. I had my coffee cup and my collapsible bowl. But still, it's not too bad. It's just small. I'm a little more involved. I like to cook. So I got another set of cooking gear. Let me show you that. Alright, this is a hodgepodge of stuff, some MSR stuff, but it was when I took this out of the bag that I found that I had the little stove in there. And when I opened the pot up is when I found the little adapter. So that all fit in the bag with it. Stove, pots and pans. Let's see what we got here. We'll get back to this baby. Alright. This pot is much more than a pot. It's a bowl in a pot. Alright. So this bowl is an MSR bowl. I think it was an add-on item. Maybe $4 or $6 from Amazon. Ships free. Just so happens that my saucepan lid fits it perfectly. And this is the top from a number 10 can. You know, those big cans of coffee used to come in. They're plastic cans now. but you still get tomato sauce and some other things. That fits it too. Either way. So I got lids here, multiple lids. This is a mainstay stainless steel pot. Mainstay means Walmart. It's a 1 quart saucepan. Does have the aluminum core on the bottom of it. I could not find that in a camping pot. Right, came with a big heavy glass lid. This I found off another pot set we had, and that fit that fine. Even though it's got this heavy duty handle on it, is much lighter than the one that came. Well, like $12. It's a knockoff of some Martha Stewart or some sort of pot set. The only thing is that I want to get rid of this handle. I'm just going to saw that off. I don't need that handle. I'm going to show you why. It makes it a little heavy, and I don't want it to tip on my stove. Alright, so that all stacks. You can get stuff in there as well. I think I got this at the Harbor Freight or Country Max. This is a dog food bowl. Alright, 2 quart stainless steel. Don't have a lid for it. Do have a handle. We're going to get there. And you saw this guy in action. This is my MSR fry pan with the aluminum core. Would throw in a plate. You know, it's kind of funny to me when I go looking at the camping stuff. You know, ultralight plate, 2 for $12. Well, you know what this is? This is a baby plate found in the baby food section at my grocery store. I think there are 6 of them for $4 or $5 in a pan. So you saw this. With this is my utensils bag, utensils drawer. A little bit of everything fits in here. All right, so pot holder. Calm down, Ed. You put these on the fire, they're gonna get hot. All right, so that's something that's almost grips by itself. I thought that was a little bit sturdier. All right, tongs, flipper, ladle, spoon, measuring spoons. Silverware for fine dining. Let's go back. This is the handle to the MSR fry pan. Locks on when you slide it forward. Get it off, you pull it back, squeeze it, it comes off. Alright, not totally necessary because I got this guy. This is a pot lifter, pot holder. You see how this opens up, closes down, opens up. Go down there, grabs the rim of the pot. Very sturdy. Alright, as I mentioned over here, I don't have the pot holder for the two quart bowl yet, but that works just fine. It's like before. It'll grip the MSR bowl. Okay. So I threatened to cut the handle off that, it grips that. So this is a multi-use handle. Of course, won't do it with the lid on it, so there's some limitations here. Well, you know what? Looks like it does do this one. But in general, not with the lid on it. So I'm not saying you don't need handles on your camp cooking gear, but this doesn't have to stay on the fire, doesn't have to get hot. That's put in my utensils. There's the cook gear and all that. This is a mailing bag that I just taped together with some Gorilla tape. All that fits in there. All right, make me do it, huh? Oh, I did not show this. Coleman camp soap. Little tissues. Dissolve in water. Got a little bit of soap on it. So that fits in the kit as well. Yeah, well, probably if it's that easy, you could get a smaller bag, but so there's a stove, cook set, eating set with a plate. Remember, there's a bowl in there if you want some soup. All the utensils you could ever want. Now there's some specialty stuff. I got a pasta strainer in another bag and the like, but it's not like that Ozark Trail set I got my percolator out of. It's in a big box like this. So you don't need the big box, but you know, they didn't design that set to nest. And when I pick these, you can get a set. You want to spend, you can spend as much money as you want in any hobby. You know that. I'm not telling you anything. All right. Now we got to throw in our windscreen with it, but still, it's just a pretty compact system. Very, you know, you can do anything with that. Like I said, I'm gonna pretty soon set up and make myself some cornbread. So I want to show you that. There you go. I know you think, Ed, but you brought everything. Well, so I gotta learn to minimize it. You know, my goal is to do that through hike and make the whole segments on the Finger Lakes Trail, and it's not with all this stuff. I think it's going to take me a couple times, less and less, so I can walk more. But I'm working on it. You know, I'm working on it. So I pulled the table back and rehung the tarps on this side. Wasn't enough to save the all of the teepee, which is closed up. I did pull the ground tarp away from the door where a little water was coming in. So hopefully that water will just go down on the ground. When I get in there, my tarp won't be too bad. So yeah, that thunder squall came right over top of us, I guess. It's not too bad. Got everything up for the most part. It's waterproof or can be dried off. What a rude surprise. But, you know, I'll deal with it. It's just some rain. You know, I don't see any need to put up any more tarps. I know I got them. They're in the car. Of course I got them. I brought everything. I'm not expecting this to keep going. It's just not enough to dampen my spirits. All right. Well, just want to show you we did get hit. So I got some hush puppies, fried cornbread, to go with my steak. Wow, I thought I said a pound. I think that's more. But got have some leftover hush puppies and steak with my coffee in the morning. Wait, wow, that steak was awesome. Guys, I didn't even eat half of it. There is one nice thing about this park, this site. After a day soaking in DEET, got to walk across the road and take a hot shower. Man, do I feel better. Alright, wherever you are, I hope you're dry and warm. You have a good night. See that keystone shape? That's what we're going for. It's a little bit of trimming still. Try something different here. Alright. Now, a little bit of wedge shape, smaller at this end, a little bigger at this end, helps tighten it when we put it inside the other joint. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece and we're going to carve a slot for this to go into. Alright, I'm going to start the sawing on that. Oh, watch it there. Okay. Just how big we want it on the bottom. So we use saw, cut from the top at an angle towards that what I marked as the bottom measurement. Whoa. Okay, this is the Silky Pocket Boy. Same brand as my larger saw, but look at this. That goes, there's no reason not to have a saw with you in the woods. This is what I used yesterday when I was collecting firewood. Just to cut a 4-inch branch will work. 3 inches, 2 inches. It's like a hot knife through butter. Alright, so I'm working left-handed. It seems like it's going more like a cold knife through butter. Just because I want to let you get a good look at my saw in here. Okay, now that's plenty deep enough. Let's move over and we'll get to the other side of it. Well, we're in my shop. I just knocked that out with a chisel. You remember my Camillus cutlery. Carnivore X does have a chisel point on it. It's a little big. So the way I learned to do this is now to make some cuts in the middle. You got thin enough wood you can just knock off. And by the way, this is pretty small stuff. I'm sure that you would make a bigger dovetail joint for use if you were putting it. Why would you do this? Well, we put this together, and that's being optimistic that it's going to work. Don't need any cord. You have a tight joint. Make a long-lasting frame. You're making a base camp. You see how that's just chipping that out of there? It's probably not the best angle for showing it. That's why you don't use a kitchen knife. This is a maybe 3mm spine on this Mora Companion. Stuff you told not to do with the knife, this knife will do. Now, I'm not prying metal, I'm prying wood here. But, beautiful. Most people say this is the best knife under $200. I'm not going to go there, but at $20, it's a fine knife, and if it did break, and I ain't broken one, I'll just buy another. And that's, you know, one amazing thing to make a knife so good for so little money. Maybe you can see how we're getting that opposite of that keystone look in there. This is generically called jointery. We're making a joint. Well, I need to do some more cutting, I can tell. It'll fit it. And you know, you would hope that if you're like furniture, things just aren't butt up against each other and glued, it wouldn't hold. This is the old school carpenter way. Well, we can see that ain't gonna fit. So, what's easier to do? My feeling is trim this. So that's going to make it a little weaker, and if we were out on the world trying to stay alive, we might not want to do that, but for sake of just showing you how this stuff goes together, let's do it that way. Once again, it would be much better form to enlarge this hole. All right, a bit pounding here. All right, and there it is, a joint. Yeah, I made a little bit of a mess. I'll go throw all these chips in the fire pit. I still have the teepee up. I haven't really done much to the teepee. I found that these, what do you call them, bulldog clips, good way to keep it closed. And that was enough to keep the rain out yesterday. I got a lot of stuff that was wet. There's one thing I made. Remember, I had a tarp in here yesterday. I didn't want my center pole to be cutting through my tarp, so I got that little rubber thing there. It's got a big old flat washer in the middle so the pole don't cut through it. But that's the only thing there is. And when I showed you this in my backyard, you know how fast it comes down. Pick up the pole. Bam! I say, there's just one thing more. I want to show you these stakeouts I got. Now, the basic tent tarp plan is Lonnie, Far North Bushcraft. You'll see other people making tent tarps, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I made it, you know, based on Lonnie, Far North Bushcraft." All right, highly recommended. I gave you a link to them in the last video, description of the last video. I'm going to give you another one. I did one thing, though, I made up on my own here. This worked out very well, and that's my tie downs. I got a sewing machine. I got one of those grommet kits. Just go pull out. Can you see that? We got here just Gorilla Tape onto the tarp. And I've done some destructive testing. This tape will pull the tarp apart before it pulls off by itself. And in the middle of there, what you can't see, is a stainless steel washer. So you run the tape around the washer, tape up on the tarp, then poke a hole through the washer. So that grommet is never going to tear or break. And nothing in the world is ever going to break that big old washer. And then, like I say, this big old tie out, use lots of tape. Well, we had wind, we had thunderstorms, these massive old spikes, everything's held. So that's my addition to the tarp tent technique, tarp teepee technique. I'll pull this up and throw it in the car, and then I'm ready to go home. It's that little thing I got to take care of today there. Sorry I didn't get to spend another day with you, but before I go, I'm gonna get my coffee mug. I'll go down here to the creek. Well, is this a camping tip? This same mug I use at work. Keep your coffee warm for 5 hours, no joke. And that's just a perfect thing. I didn't have that on my hike into the Finger Lakes Trail, but I've had it the last 2 trips. And that's the way to keep your coffee going. Alright, let's see I make it up this hill alive and pick up that teepee, and I'm just gonna say bye for now. I don't have plans for another trip at this point. Though I'm thinking, maybe I'll pack like a hiking trip, but come back to a park somewhere. And let me turn this around. All right. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna practice taking less, because I wanna get out to do some real walking. I don't mind if I go slow. I don't mind if it takes time. I'm in no race. Right. Don't have plans for where to go. I do have plans for another video. So until then, be safe, be happy, and get up off your couch and get outside. Bye-bye now.